mystical moments of the night. We're bathed in the moon's soft light.
Hello Sparkle family, and welcome to another Flow State Tarot video. I'm your host Lea Audrey, and today we're going to take a look at what May has in store for us. So I like to keep it kind of broad for the general readings and just see what the universe wants us to know. Because sometimes I think, especially when we are looking at online tarot readings, we get kind of caught up in only what we think we want to hear, and it can drown out what the universe needs us to hear. So before I get into the shuffling for each pile, we're just going to do a collective oracle card from the Self-Love Oracle deck by The Other Eye Photo. And as always, all the decks I use will be linked in the description box. Excuse me. But we're just going to, what you believe, you become. So that's a good starter card for the energy for the collective. What you believe, you become. So stick with me if you'd like to see the shuffling of piles 1 and 2, but if not, there will be timestamps to where each pile starts and where each selection for the pile is. So see you there. For today's reading, we're going to be working with a few fun different things. I have the Dream Reading cards by Rose and Inserra, and it's a dream interpretation kind of vibe, but also side by side with an oracle deck. I also have the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo, Thompson. And I have this cute little zine called Walks by Hope Hilton that my mom got me for my birthday this past month. And I just wanted to do one for each pile. So we won't really be pulling that one. So I'm going to put it to the side. But I think I'm going to do, for the month of May, for each pile we'll do 5 tarot cards, 3 dream cards, and 2 oracle. So 5, 3, and 2. We got 2 there. And as always, make sure that you take the time to make some sacred space before you watch this video and receive these messages. Take some deep breaths, maybe burn a candle or some sage if you have some, and just really focus on the messages that are meant to come through for you, because sometimes, even in the collective readings, like I was saying earlier, 4, 5, there we go. It can get a little loud in the collective readings, you know? So just tap into what's meant to find you. We're working on pile 1 right now. So we're looking for 3 dream cards. These ones are easier to do upwards, I think. Yeah. I have very small hands, lol. So it's much easier for me to shuffle some of these decks up and down versus side to side. I don't know if any of you guys have that problem, but this one really wants to come out. And so did this. I had a feeling about that. I don't know, I love to watch on the YouTube community how each reader will pull cards, because I usually will wait until the card flies out of the deck because it just feels like fate to me. But sometimes I also am making eye contact with a card, which as I'm speaking, I just can't ignore it because of the energy that's pulling me to it. So we're looking for 2 oracle cards now. May is a time of continued rebirth and growth, and it's a good time to check on seeds that we've been planting for ourselves in our lives, and opportunities that could arise because of things that we've been hoping for or wishing for. And oh my goodness, Like, it's just funny when I'm talking about something and like rebirth and growth, transformation, and a card jumps out, you know? Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. So my friends, this is our pile 1. And now we're going to go ahead and do pile number 2. So as I was saying, we're going to do 5 tarot cards. Three dream cards. Oh, the only hazard of using a candle in a reading. Which I will mention, that's something that I want to say to anyone who uses candles in readings, divination, any kind of things like that. Please just be careful when you're using it inside, especially if you have pets, especially if you're using it around paper or potentially flammable things. It's always fire safety. Ooh, energy is intense on that one. Fire safety is very important, and I would hate for anyone to be getting hurt in their practices because of something like an accident or something getting knocked over or anything like that. So ooh. Oh, that's definitely too many, but we're going to pick one from the deck. Ooh, yeah, this one. Okay, so there we have it. And this is our pile number 2. All right, everyone. So we have pile 1 and pile 2. And I just have the butterflies here to help us choose. For pile 1, we have this orange and a pink. And for pile 2, we have this floral print. So a little reminder of spring and our blooms. And I'll see you in your pile. Okay, hello pile 1. So first of all, I did something fun this time. I put on my Spotify and I hit shuffle to get a song for you guys. And the one that came up is called Yours by S.G. Lewis. So give that one a listen and leave a comment below about if you like it, how it made you feel, maybe what it spoke to you. And besides that, we're going to dive right in and we're going to look at what May has in store for you. So I'm just going to turn over all of the cards first. So we're going to start with our tarot cards with the King of Swords, the Emperor, the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. I'm also going to turn over our oracle cards with growth, which is pretty wild. I'm going to just adjust this here a little bit. Pretty wild, actually, because I was just talking about that at the beginning of the reading. And then we also have the Goddess. So we have a nice balance so far of masculine and feminine energy, and I'll save the dream cards for the end with the Zine. So we're all figuring this out together. But so looking at our, first of all, collective overall energy, we have a lot of hot and cold, feminine, masculine, a balancing act. So in May, you're really figuring out how to pull power and strength from both of those sides of yourself. Maybe something in the past that you've struggled with is tapping into those different sides of yourself. Maybe it's felt kind of foreign to tap into your masculine energy, for example, if you identify as feminine. And I'm not going to go down the whole rabbit hole of that, but you know who you are and how you identify and what that means to you. But maybe one or the other has been difficult for you to pull from, and so you're figuring out how to make that work for you. Because if we look, one thing I like to look for in readings, as I've said, and I guess I'll just continue to say, is to look at color correlation, right? We have the King of Swords, which we have strength and we have focus, but we also have this blue and this red relationship. The Emperor also is red dominant. We have fire, we have powerful energy, we have the strength to move through the things that we've committed to. And we also have the Five of Pentacles, which we're seeing, although things might be challenging to get to our end goals, we're starting to see where our efforts can pay off. So maybe before, the blockage for us has been that we have been putting in this effort and we haven't really seen things come of it. But as I was mentioning earlier in the intro, maybe we're starting to see where the seeds that we've planted can bloom and are blooming. Because if we keep looking into like the Ace of Cups, which is pretty blue dominant, but the eyes are red, right? We're owning that power. This is similar ownership, different channeling. We know what we're capable of, and we know the resources that we have to bring us to where we want to be. And it makes us feel comforted. It makes us feel a sense of ease in that, oh, okay, I can do these things that I want to do. In this relationship we have, even here, with the imagery being blue and red, right? We have growth. Growth requires you to step out of your comfort zone. Growing pains can help you in gaining wisdom and experience. The old must be left behind before getting into the new. So I like to use this analogy, so maybe this will mean something to you, maybe not. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But I, in my younger years, was raised in a religious setting, and a lot of the beliefs that they teach younger people in religion maybe don't align with the things that I believe now and the person that I am. And so I have to do the work to think about, what were the people in my life telling me? What were they making me believe was true? What was being repeated to me at that time, and does that serve me now? Because some of it does and some of it doesn't. And if we don't take stock of the seeds that have been planted, whether by ourselves or others, there's no way to clean your garden. And I like to think of your brain as a garden, because you're constantly tending to it. It's constantly growing and evolving with you. And it's one of the most powerful and nourishing things that is a part of you. And so you owe it to yourself to take that growth and to take the opportunities you have to use the growth to your advantage, especially when it comes to wanting to accomplish goals. If we look at the Goddess, we have, again, look, the cool and hot energy. And even though we have feminine energy here, it's still this balance. Embrace the feminine, create and be gentle, nurturing yet strong. Do not listen to those who want to keep you small. Believe that you are as important as the stars in the heavens. Because you are. And I think that's also very easy to forget or maybe lose the plot of, that we are important and so are our visions. And especially when we get carried away, we like to talk about our ideas, right? I'm also very someone who does this. I was going to say a victim of this, but that's not the right wording. We like to talk about our ideas, right? And as soon as we open that door, even though we love and trust the people in our lives, it gives everyone an opportunity to plant seeds, right? Of doubt, of maybe risks or fears that we didn't have before, just because they're projections, whether they're meant to plant that seed of fear or not. And if you're not aware of it happening, then it's there, right? So maybe you say to your friend, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And they say, that's ridiculous. You should not do that. That's not a reliable job. You should get a stable job, you know? Even if you're like, well, no, like that's what I want to do. So I'm going to do that. I wasn't asking you if I could do it, right? But then in the back of your mind now you're thinking, well, is it? Maybe I should get a stable job, because I was kind of worried about that in the first place. But having someone else say it out loud kind of made me fear it again, right? When we had already talked ourselves out of that fear and just wanted to share our excitement with other people. And that is one of the obstacles that comes with wanting to share ideas. So sometimes it can be better to keep our ideas to ourselves. So that can be another lesson that we're learning in the month of May, to keep our ideas to ourselves, especially as they're loading or being curated, and then share them when they're really at a more finalized stage of, look at what I did, instead of I'm going to do this. Because trust me, I believe in your dreams and I believe in your visions. I think you can make anything happen, and I think that you should try. So I'm here to cheer you on. But I think that you can keep it a little on the DL, and it'll be more exciting too, because then you'll present this passion project in its final form and people will be like, wow, what is this, you know? So let's take a look at the dream cards and our zine about walks and see what else might be coming for us in the month of May. So we have possessions. So this is either, dreams, as in literally you're having dreams, and these kinds of things might pop up in the month of May, or also dreams that could come true or you could start working towards in the month of May. So possessions, what do you need to redefine what you value? What is the cost of your loss? What are some changes that are causing you to feel undervalued? Celebrations or social occasions. Are you concerned about commitment? Do you have fears around social situations? Would you like to break free from the repressed you? House, buildings. What does the house or the rooms of the house represent to you? Is it in order or is it a mess? What state are you in? So these are all things that could be appearing in our dreams or that we could be working towards. So maybe we're building a house or buying a house. Maybe we're planning or attending a social occasion. Maybe we're working towards buying a new possession. Maybe we're selling one, right? Maybe we're purging possessions. Maybe we are just thinking about what our next move might be. Maybe we want to move states. Maybe we want to pick a new career. Maybe we want to celebrate something. Maybe we should celebrate something that is worth celebrating that we haven't given the recognition to. So last but not least, pile one, we have the walks zine, and I'm just going to open to a random page. I'm going to pan back and forth a few times. Go on a walk with a bouquet of flowers in your hands. So yeah, pile one, I hope that that was helpful for you. And in the month of May, make sure that you're going for a walk with some flowers in your hands, which is very cute because it really ties together the thoughts of sowing the seeds in our garden, the garden of our mind. Make sure that you're believing in and repeating to yourself what you really truly believe in, because what you believe, you become. If you made it to the end, please comment Rose, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome back to Flow State Tarot. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm so happy you're here. We're going to turn over some of these cards, saving the dreams for last, with our zine. And we're just going to turn over some tarot cards and see what's happening for us. And we are observing what is going on for us in the month of May. I hope that you have been well. I hope that you have some space for what you're about to receive. And I hope that you are able to take what resonates and leave the rest. So pile 2, for our tarot cards, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Devil, the King of Wands, Strength, the Nine of Swords, Relationships, and Action. So right off the bat here in May, we're taking stock of our relationships. We're really thinking about how the situations that we're in, the environments and the people we're around are affecting us. Things have come to light recently, and we're realizing how really everything around us affects us. And the people that we spend the most of our time with really do impact us more than maybe we've given credit. So something happened recently in your life, and you've recognized that maybe this isn't the path for you anymore. So you're ready to pivot. But to get there, you're having to look over the land, right? You're looking into your situation. Where are you? What are your resources? And what is it exactly that is causing this hurdle or this holdback? Maybe it's not even a specific person. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's a place you've been going, or money that you've been inappropriately spending, or maybe gambling, or maybe you just go out and drink a lot with your friends and it's been just draining you energetically, and you're having to kind of look in the mirror here and give yourself a tough love kind of talk, right? You're having to use that strength, right? This continuation, this merge of the power that we can channel with ourselves or within ourselves to look and to be honest with ourselves, right? To look into that shadow work, to look into the night, the dark night of the soul, and to say, man, maybe this is not exactly what I should be doing. May is bringing this reflection to us. It's like this mirror has been unveiled. It's like something that we had been hoping to learn from before has now been opened. Something is unlocked, and you can't ignore it anymore. It's almost like the distress that this picture brings to us, in that, although this isn't even the greatest picture ever, but it makes me chuckle. But you can't ignore the pain that this situation is bringing you. This specific card says new partnerships are coming your way. Reassess present relationships and leave behind those who do not support you. Be clear what you are committing to. So maybe there's even ill intentions with the people you've been spending time around, whether you know it or not. There's a shady vibe, wrong place, wrong time kind of situation. I would really think about who you are letting into your life, especially if it's a scenario where you're sharing business ideas or plans for your future or ways that you might help yourself, right? Because that also opens the door for sabotage. If, and I'm not saying this to make you paranoid, but I think you know what I mean. Because this isn't something that, the way that these cards are, this isn't something that you're unaware of. This is something that you're now actively fighting and are deciding to say, you know what, no. Like, if this person, say it, the situation is that this friend doesn't think, again, like that you could be successful doing what you want to do, you just aren't even going to tell them things anymore, and you may just not even talk to them anymore because you've realized that the only thing that brings you is some resentment towards this person because you're just trying to share the excitement of these new adventures with them because you care about them, and all they meet you with is lackluster, right? And it's unfortunate because I think we've all experienced this in connections in our lives, but it's up to us to take that action. So what does that mean? We can take some form of action without regrets. Examine what is holding you back from taking action and cut it loose. You will get the most immediate results through acting decisively. No maybes. So really looking at what is causing the pain and what is the root of the problem so that we can cut it out of our life. And notice lots of kind of battle-like sword imagery here. So we're on defense, we're aware, we aren't in victim mode, right? We're doing positive things for ourselves. So we're going to now look at the dreams card. We have 3, so we're going to start with weather or natural events. What's urgent in your life? What's making you feel overwhelmed and out of your control? Are you worried about how you will survive a major change? So how fitting is that, right? Ooh. Because we're talking about dreams that could be literal dreams, as in overnight dreams, or dreams that we're trying to make real, right? That's coming back as a recurring thought, so that could occur, or that could be occurring for a lot of you where you're trying to share excitement over new adventures with people and it's just not getting the reaction that you're hoping for. So then we also have naked. Do you feel exposed or outed in some way? What is making you feel inadequate, guilty, ashamed, or vulnerable? What do you need to release? So also taking a look at that, because it can be helpful to let go of that blockage, especially when it's someone else. Maybe this person is just like outing things about you or your ventures that you're not even ready to out yet, and they're doing it in a way that's not respectful, and it's just killing the situation for you. And then we have vehicles or a car. Do you know what direction you want to go? Do you feel in control of your life plans? Do you represent the car model in your dream? Excuse me. So things to pay attention to in our dreams in May. Maybe even you're working towards getting a new vehicle or car, or maybe you're getting rid of an old car that no longer serves you. That could also be a pain, it could be quite literal. If you're in certain areas of the world, maybe there are weather events in May that you need to pay attention to and just be extra cautious about, Also for our walks zine, we're just going to go through and see for the month of May what kind of walk that we should go on. Walk with your feet bare. So there you have it, my friends. And I forgot to mention at the top of this video that your song that I shuffled on Spotify is Eyes on My Baby by Between Friends. So make sure that you guys take a listen to that and see what resonates with you in the song. If you like it, let me know if you do. But if you've made it to the end, please comment believe. And it was so wonderful to have you here in this video, and I hope to see you on Saturday in the next one. And I hope that your May is magical.
In the mystical moments of